Good morning, friends. Welcome to GoOnlineTrainings.com. From today, we're going to learn series of SSRS sessions and why we have to use SSRS and what are the modules we are going to learn in SSRS and how we should be able to, create a report with SSRS and how can we deploy the reports to the, report server and different varieties of reports we're going to learn and we're going to see different developer modules and different topics on the DBA as well as we should know how you create a reports and how do you deploy the reports. Now let us understand what is the report and steps to create reports and tools that we're going to implement in this, and all of them we're going to learn here. But one of the important factor people would ask is that or if somebody asks you what is the report, service given by Microsoft as part of MSBA, and rendering the business data in rich format, presentation logic, so that we're talking about look and feel logic is implemented as part of your SSRS. And when you create a report, the report can be, made it as web-enabled report. That means anybody, if they wanted to view the report, they have to go to the website of the company or they have to go to some portal and they can see the reports, download the reports in multiple formats in Excel, PDF, TIFF, and all of them. So more security will be given. And you can have all the reports in the common server called reporting server. So centralized reporting architecture. And you can also create desktop reports and mobile reports with the help of SQL Server 2020-16. Okay. So let us understand what is the report. So normally, we are getting the data from OLTP application. The data is now moved to the data warehouse application. With the help of a data warehousing applications, what we're going to achieve is that we are going to do some kind of an aggregations and keep the data from the Cube database. We should be able to write MDX queries, and using these MDX queries, you will be able to create lots of SSRS reports. Now, these reports will be given to the end user. Now, you have end user who is going to access your reports. Okay. Now, whenever the end user is going to access the reports, now first question is that how end user is going to get the reports? That is first question you have to ask. So you are the developer, you're going to create these reports. These reports are given to the end user, but end of the day, end user has to get the report. So how we have to do that? So creating a report is one thing, then deploying the report to the end user. So normally what we're going to do, we deploy all this report to the web. Okay. So in between, we have a one more feature called web. So people can easily connect to the any website of the company. Using that company, end user would be able to get your reports done. So using a web is one thing we can say. For example, end user is somewhere here. He should be able to get the data like this. But normally sometimes what is going to happen, you may also get the data or you may also create the reports with the help of data warehouse also. Okay. So sometimes you need some kind of a detailed data, not with the cube data. So you should be able to go to the data warehouse and write lots of queries on that, and you should be able to retrieve the data. So normal queries only we're able to write here. Okay. But whereas when you have the analysis database from there, if you wanted to get the data, normally we write MDX queries and get the data there. Okay, so how we can create a report with the help of MDX queries or with the help of data warehouse normal queries, or sometimes you can also get the data from OLTP applications and you should be able to create reports. Try to understand. So creating a report does not have any kind of a dependency. Okay, so it can connect to anything. So you may connect to the Cube database, or you should be able to connect to the data warehouse database, or you should be able to connect to the OLTP system. OLTP can be Oracle system, or OLTP can be SAP system. OLTP can be any Teradata system. So SSRS can talk to any kind of a data source. Need not be data warehouse of SQL Server. You may have Oracle data warehouse also. You may have, you know, or some other system, third party data warehouse also fine. Okay. So, or whatever the cube we have created with the help of SSAS, with the cube database, we have to write multi-dimensional expression queries, and you should be able to create reports and all. Now, once you create a report, how the end user is going to get the report? That's first question. This is the developer who's going to create a report, and the developer has to deploy all the reports to the web. So what normally will do is they deploy reports. Okay. So why they have to deploy the reports? Because when you create, only you can see. But how the end user is going to see? End user always, they should be able to see the reports via web. So end user need not install a SQL server. End user need not install SSRS. End user need not install anything in her machine or in his machine. End user simply connect to their website, and in their website there is a link called reports. They have to click on the browser button, and they have to open their website, and end user is able to see all the reports you have published or you have deployed to the company's website. For example, I am working for a company called citibank.com as a developer, and I'll create thousands of reports every annum. So that reports, how do I give it to, Citibank management, or we're talking about Amazon.com, right? Amazon people wanted to see their site. So probably they'll have Amazon.com. Inside that, they will have a one tab called reports. So any management of the company, Amazon, for example, India lead. Amazon India lead wanted to see the sales of India. Amazon, for example, Canada, or Amazon, say US, the management people wanted to see the sales of, America, and you will have different kinds of manager. So, North regional manager, South regional manager, and you will have a product manager, or you may have, category managers, things like that. So everybody needs different kind of a report. I am the manager of India. I don't want to, see the data from the uh, US or Canada states. I'm completely restricted only with my country. So like that, you should be able to develop a report, and that report you have to deploy to the website of the company. End user is going to connect to the website of the company so that they should be able to get the reports, and end user need not have anything special installed in their desktops or the laptops. Be clear. So end user is connected to the web, and end user easily should be able to get the reports done. This is one way. So end user is also can get the reports with the help of an Excel sheet. Okay. So what end user is going to do? End user will have Excel sheet in their machine, right? So they will be using Excel sheet, and with the help of Excel, you can also directly connect to the Cube database, and end user is also can get the data from the Excel sheet, and he should be able to do. If he is taking Excel and end user path, now he is independent. Directly can talk to the cube and get the data and do some kind of analysis. But end user is saying, no, you create a report and give it to me. And end user is dependent on SSRS developer, that is you. So you are the developer, you are creating a reports in your desktop, but when you create a report, the report is available in your system. But how do you make it public? So if you wanted to make it public, only way you can do that by deploying the report to the website of the company. So for the deployment to the website, we need not write not even single piece of code. It is everything with the help of wizard. Simple next, 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 finish buttons. Okay. Automatically the deployment will be done. So you need not to worry about anything. You should be able to create thousands of reports, and these reports easily you can put into web, and end user can get all your reports. So remember, end user does not know that whether the data is coming from OLTP, data warehouse, cube, all of them is not worried about. End user sees only one thing, your reports in the web. So normally end user thinks that, BI means business intelligence means, or we're talking about analytics means, at the end, all the information is going to see in the SSRS reports only. So end user thinks BI application means SSRS only, reporting only, because end of the day, he's going to see only that. He does not know what is a data warehouse, what is a, MDX query, what is the OLTP. That technically engineering team, as part of the engineering team, we supposed to know that. So end user always thinks about whether the report is ready or not, why the sales has come down, why the sales is, got more, income, like that. So grown things and like that. So end of the day, people will always concentrate on the report. Even Hadoop doesn't have any kind of a reporting structure. They have to get the data, and they have to use third-party tools. Either they may use SSRS or they may use Excel and dump the data. Hadoop people also can analyze the data. They can also process the data, but the reporting purpose, they may use Excel sheet, or they may use SSRS or ClickView or Tableau. They're going to use to render the data. Rendering means displaying. So I think you're able to understand. So it is a service given by Microsoft. Render the business data in rich format. Okay, rendering means displaying, presenting. That is the meaning of that. Presentation logic is built inside the SSRS. What is that? The special thing we are going to have in reports. For example, I'm getting the data in the database, and the database, I wanted to bold something, or I wanted to increase the font size, or I'll say people have scored more than 50 marks. That data we supposed to show in red color or green color, and people who have scored less than 50 marks out of 100, the data we supposed to show in, say, some other color. So these things you will not be able to get them in the data source level, that is at the database level. So database only for the storing engine, but we are now talking about, I wanted to present the data to the customer. So when you show only the data in two-dimensional format, that is rows and columns, people will hate. So they need the data in the a chart format, a graphical charts. They need more pie charts, or they need more colorful charts, colorful graphics, indicators. So all these belong to presentation logic. Presentation logic means we're talking about look and feel. I need the data in this. I need data in this. For example, we had seen Avatar movie. Avatar movie, it is not about the story. The story is somewhere somebody would have written, but the look and feel, the presentation is very, very important. End of the day, the presentation logic is kept inside SSRS. You take any kind of a reporting. So what are the reportings we have? We have plenty reporting tools in the you know uh, in the market. For example, we have SSRS from Microsoft, business objects, and we have SAS, Crystal reports, Cognos, Dundas reports, and ClickView, MicroStrategy, Tableau, like that. You have thousands of tools in the market. If anybody is talking about a reporting, you have to understand only one thing: report by itself does not have data. So reporting services have to connect to OLTP system, or they have to connect to data warehouse system, or they have to connect to one of these systems, and they have to get the data. And the reporting means they have to implement presentation logic only. For example, I wanted to join one table with second table. What is this logic? It is a data logic. So table A join table B on primary key equals to foreign key. This is the data logic. So what is the presentation logic? I wanted to get the data, all regions I wanted to group, and all regions I wanted to highlight in red color. And this is a presentation logic, look and feel logic. Or I wanted to show you the data in the graphical format. Graphical format is a presentation logic. So all the presentation logic will be inbuilt with the help of SSRS report. All the data logic will be part of in the databases, whether it is OLTP database, or whether it is a data warehouse database. These databases are going to store data logic. Data logic means create a table, create a primary key, and create a trigger and store the data, insert the data. This is a technique or technology we're going to use as part of the data logic. Now I get the data and I should be able to read the data. For example, you go to the database today and I have a data warehouse and I have lots of tables here. Or let me take OLTP database. We have a product database. So I have lots of tables here. So if I wanted to read the data, I simply write a select star from customer master. So simply very like that you should be able to get the data. But end of the day, the people are saying people from UT or people from Baltimore should be displayed in red color, or people from Chatham should be displayed in the green color. Can you achieve the same kind of the requirement in data source level at the database level? No, because showing the font in red color, green color, it is a presentation logic. Okay, or let me show you the data using a map here. Can I get the map, and when I click on the map, can I get these names? No, that is also not possible. So these are visualizations I'm talking about. So visualization is something different and data storing is something different. So SSRS gives you more visualization logics and more data rendering logic. So look and feel logic will be part of reporting. Any report you take could be SSRS or any other reports we're talking about, third party SSA, SAS, and we have MicroStrategy, ClickView, Tableau, or even Excel is also one kind of a reporting tool. It is all, you can also get the data and you should be able to create lots of conditional formatting, lots of charts, and lots of things you should be able to make. But once you create a report, these reports you have to attach to the management manually. So Excel sheet you have to send it to the people, the audience. But end of the Excel is not centralized as compared to your web. So when you create a report, these reports are kept under web, so anybody can access. But Excel only you can see. But if you wanted to send this report to 1,000 people in the Excel, and the end user will become a data entry operator, he has to send all the reports he has to create with the help of Excel, and dump the data to the Excel and create manually, and he has to distribute these Excel sheets to 1,000 people. Now, it will be very difficult when you create reports with the help of Excel. But personal analysis, this would be good. But if you wanted to create a report and send it to 1,000 people, this would be the easiest thing. Because when you create a report and keep it in the web, tomorrow you may come and go to your website and see the report. And I may be working in Amazon.com from India. I should be able to connect to Amazon.com and get the reports. Okay, so Excel is very good for manual creations, and you should be able to get the reports in your inbox. But if you wanted to send it to many people, then Excel will have some issues. So better than Excel you should be able to do. But when you open an Excel, and the good thing is that if the people are good at Excel sheets, they can create their own reports without disturbing or without asking or without having any dependency on SSRS developers. That is a plus point. And these are the things you must understand. So format the report, save and preview of the report, build and deploy the report to the report server. So when you make it or when you deploy the report, it will be available in the website of the company, or they may have a SharePoint server. SharePoint server just like a portal, or you can also say one more web portal. So you should be also giving your report to the SharePoint portal. So SharePoint, using that web, so you should be able to get all your reports. That is also possible. So end of the day, the delivery is done via web only. So end user need not install anything. Now, so the end user needs the report in Excel format, or end user needs, I need the report in PDF format. TIFF. TIFF means image. Image means JPEG format, TIFF format. Or end user needs, the report in Excel format. So they can also download. They can go to the report and they should be able to download the reports to their machine locally. So end user, that is also there. So end user sometimes says, no, I don't want to connect to the web. Can you just email me all the reports? So SSRS server is going to email. So you are going to deliver the reports with the help of emails. That is also possible. So end user can get all the emails, and in the email you can have an attachment as a PDF file. So that is also there. Okay. So what are the things we have discussed today? So SSRS reports is developed by SSRS developers, and once they create a report with the help of different data sources, and those reports have to be deployed to the web. So using a web, end user should be able to get the data, or using a web, end user should download the reports, or end user also can get the data with the help of email applications, or they may have any other third-party tools. For example, sometimes they create a shared folder. Inside that folder, they dump all the reports. So the end users are connected to that shared folder, and from there you should be able to get their reports, or they may ask email, or they may have some custom application. For example, I wanted to have a delivery of the reports in my WhatsApp, or I wanted to have a small report in my SMS, or I wanted to have, in some other portal like that. You can also have some customizations can be done. So you can also get your reports not only your website. For example, you can also embed these reports in different platforms. For example, I'm running my Java application. So you create a report and give the report to the Java application. Java application can call SSRS and show the reports. And I'm running a .NET application, I'm running a SAP application, or I'm running any other Android application, I should be able to display these reports not only in website of the company, wide varieties of other applications where I should be able to, use these applications very easily without having any kind of an issue. Are you clear? So delivery is not a problem, and the creation is also not a problem. So you may have OLTP can be .NET, or OLTP server could be Java server, SAP server, or you may have sometimes the data may be an Excel sheet also. That data you should be able to directly give it to the SSRS reports. You should be able to create. Okay, so now only thing is that SSRS needs data. The data may be coming from OLTP, may be coming from data warehouse, or may be coming from Cube database. Doesn't matter. You should be able to connect to anything else in this world. Give me the data. I should be able to create a reports however you wanted to have. You may be having in chart format or any other format. I should be able to create as a developer, and I will be deploying that report. You can easily access them from your machine as an end user. You will not be able to install anything newly in your laptop. Only you should have internet connectivity or net connectivity to the web. That's it. So you will be anywhere in this world, or you should also get emails, or you can also connect to the Excel, and you should be able to get the data. So this is what is the SSRS we're talking about. Okay, pretty much easy. SSRS is very small sessions we're going to have, and limited classes we're going to have, and very easy to create SSRS reports. Are you able to understand? Now, what is the new thing? In earlier versions, we were able to create only desktop versions, but today I wanted to see all the reports in my mobile also. So in SQL Server 2016, we can also create a mobile reports. That is a new thing. Now, how do you create a report? And what are the steps we have to use? Let us understand. Okay. Now, when you, so let me save this. And now if somebody asks you what is the report or how the report looks like, so the best example is your monthly credit card bills, or monthly some, post-paid phone bills. All these are best example for your reports. Okay. So report may have a single page, or report may have multiple pages, and every report will have a header and footer. So this is report is divided into header, and a report will have a body, and report will have a footer. So if somebody asks you what is the report, I gave you two examples. You are getting a monthly bills from the bank department, that is credit card bills or your bank statements, monthly statements, or the phone bills you're getting monthly. All these are today reports only. So when you see a report looks are divided into three categories. One is header, and below you have a footer, and in the middle you have a body. So this is the thing you must be able to understand. So body, you will have the data here. So where the data is stored in the body only. So inside the body, you may have different kinds of things where you should be able to, achieve this. Okay. Now, this is what is the report. When I create a report here, for example, my report is a sales report. So automatically you will get an extension called RDL. RDL stands for Report Definition Language, purely XML file it is. Okay. RDL stands for what? Report Definition Language. Okay. So when we're talking about RDL, so it is simply a XML file. Okay. So whenever you create a sales report, you will be able to create sales.rdl purely XML file. Now, the report looks like it may have a single page or you may have multiple pages also. And the report is going to have a header. So probably you will have a company logo here. A company logo will be there, and you have a company name and address may be there, and you have a page numbers. So you may have a page number here, and you may have some execution time and all, some report created time you wanted to display, and the company website also you wanted to display. So like that, header will have company name, company address, company phone number, and the company logo may be here, and you will have page number, time. So this is how the company's the report looks like. You may have single page reports or you may have multiple page reports. Now the question is that how do you get the data? So where is the data? Okay, I should be able to display the data here, but from where I have to get the data? So to do that, you have to have one data source. Okay, you have to have one data source. Now the question is that where is the data source? The data source could be, okay, so we're talking about we have to have one server plus you have to have one database. Okay. So server name is plus database name you have to identify here. Okay. Now where is the data? The data may be, we're talking about the data may be in, let us say from Oracle. The data maybe is available in Oracle. Okay. Or data may be in SQL Server. Are you getting my point? So data may be from SQL Server, or data may be from SSAS, that is analysis services, and the data may be from Excel sheets also, or data may be from SAP, or data may be from Teradata. So like that, you can have SAP or you may have Teradata. So any application you have, wherever the data is there, you should be able to get the data from there. But once you get the data, sometimes you may ask me, I have some data, but that is not shown here. So how do I do that? So the Microsoft has given two drivers. What are the drivers they have given? The drivers they have given, one is ODBC driver, then they have given OLEDB driver. So using these two drivers, you should be able to get the data. You should be able to get the data. And for example, I have data in say mainframe system or DB2 system. The DB2 is not available in this list, but how do I connect to DB2? You may use ODBC or OLEDB. Or for example, Excel is not there in the list. How do I connect to Excel? Or I don't have a .NET server. .NET is not there in this. I don't have a Java listed in this, but how do I connect to Java or some .NET or XML? So you have to use these two drivers to connect to third party data sources, and you should be able to get the data. So these are the drivers also available. So data source means you have to tell what is the server name, and you have to what is the database name you have to tell. So once you connect, the step number 2 we're talking about, how do you retrieve the data from there? So you have connected to say Oracle server. or you have connected to the SQL server, but how do I get the data set? Now data set means we're talking about, so a query. I have connected to a database called iBank database to the SQL server. And how do I retrieve the data? I have to say select star from employee where city equals to say some XYZ. Okay, now you have to write the query. You should be able to get, or you can also write a stored procedure. Data set means a query, or it could be a stored procedure, or you can also have, or you can also have a view in the SQL server or an Oracle, or it can be a function also. Okay, but when you get the data from SSAS, you should be able to write in an MDX query also. Okay, so what is a data set? Data set can be a query, or it can be a stored procedure, or it can be a view, or it can be a function or an MDX query where you should be able to read the data. When you're getting the data with the help of the query, and that data I wanted to display now for the display purpose. Now, for the display purpose, we have to go here, and the step number 3 is that you have to display. So for the display purpose, we have different data regions are available. So what are the data regions we should be able to get? So we have a tabular model. You may have a chart, or you may have a list, or you may have a matrix, or you may have a graph. Okay. So you may have a graph, or you may have indicator. So, and lots of things are there, etc., etc. So these kind of a rendering formats or data regions, people would say data region is used. So data region is used to display the data. I'm able to connect to the database and get the data, and I'm writing a query, and whatever the data I got through the query, that I should be able to display in this format. I wanted to have tabular format, chart format, graphical format, indicator format. So lots of things you should be able to do, and you have to just format the report and save and preview the report. Just check once, and you should be apply page setup and everything for the reports and deploy. Once you deploy the report to the web, and everybody can access your report. So remember, what is a report? If somebody is asking, what is a report? Okay, so report means only thing you have to answer is report will have two things. Report will have a layout. Layout means a design, and report will have data. Clear? So now what is the layout? Layout means we're talking about data. What is the look and feel, and what is the data I wanted to store? So what is the layout and what is the data? So this is what is the report. So end of the day, the data is not stored in the report. The data is always resides in the data sources only. So whenever you previewing the report, it goes to the server, gets the data, and is going to display the data. Always you're going to get fresh data only. So as soon as you close the report, the data will be, the connection is disconnected, and the report is closed. So SSRS by default, it is not going to store your data always, which will be connecting to the data source and executing a query and getting the data from the query and displaying on the fly. Now, when you have MDX queries and all, these are aggregated data it's going to store. The reports will get opened very, very fastly. If you write a normal query, and if you have a large amount of data internally, so on the fly it has to execute the query and get the data. So always it is not going to store the data by default. But if you wanted to cache the data, that feature is also available. So you can improve the performance of the report. That is also fine. So if somebody asks you, what are the things I have to take precautions? So now these are the things you must understand. Create a report or create a project, create a data source, data set, add data region for the display purpose, format the report, change color, font, background, all of them, and save and preview the report, and do some kind of a page setups, and build and deploy the report to the report server. And this is how anybody can do. and everybody can do, whether you're doing or I am doing, or I am using SSRS, or I am using, say, some other third-party tool. So these are the steps you must understand: data source, data set, data region for the display purpose. So we have a chart data region, we have a tabular, lots of things we have to use them. Clear? So now reporting services, you can use internal reporting, departmental wise, corporate level wise, you can have. So these are, for example, a sales department is there, accounts department is that they wanted to communicate with their boss. So they can have department level within the corporate you can implement. External means, so I'm from Citibank.com, you're from, say, Amazon.com. Amazon is going to link some kind of for loans purpose. The customer is getting the loans for buying the product. So Citibank create a some kind of a report saying that these are the customers from Amazon.com have taken the loans, and they wanted to create a report and give it to the Amazon people from Citibank. So that is business to business reporting. So we're talking about embedded reporting. Embedded means I have created a report that I wanted to embed in your portal. For example, you're running, say, Java application that I wanted to create SSRS report that I wanted to embed in your Java application. Or embedding means, putting the report as it is there. Applications also, you may use any other applications portals where you should be able to call my reports, because SSRS end of the day XML only. XML doesn't have any kind of a dependence. It is not a .NET. It is not a Java. XML means it is universal language. Any application can call this without having any problem. Okay, so small department to a enterprise level applications, enterprise level reporting is also can be done. Okay, now we have different tools to implement these reports. One is that we have a report designer. I'm going to show you very soon, and report manager, where DBs will be part of this, and they're going to monitor all the reports, and they're going to deliver all the reports to the end users, and where they manage complete reports which you are deploying. And report builder is one more tool which is available. It is also part of this tool only. So it is a web-based tool, and user will use this tool to create and hack reports. But as a developer, we have to use RS designer, and we should be able to create reports and all. Okay. So these are the third-party tools we have to understand. Now, what are the life cycle of the report? If you ask me, these are the things we will be having. So the first one is that as a developer, you have to author the report. Authoring means you have to create the report. So what are the things we have to do in the authoring phase? Then what are the things we have to do it in management phase? Let us understand. So when you create, you will get an RDL file. You can use any .NET tool to create these reports, or you can also have a ready-made tool you can use. So we are having a .NET tool, that is this tool, SSRS, data tools. This will be there to create reports. Okay. Now, once you create a report, that is authoring phase, once you have done that you have to push it. So once you push the report to the report server, and the DB is going to store all your reports in centralized database, and they're going to manage the reports, and everything, security will be provided by the DBA team. So management team will be taking care of the reporting management. So developing team, developers, because we are developers, we are part of authoring team only. We are not going to in charge, or we are going to not handle the management of the reports. This will be handled by admin people. And delivery, so running the reports, rendering and pulling and pushing to the different customers, all these things will be handled by DBA only. So authoring is a developer, management is a DBA, delivery is also taken care by the DBA. Okay. So as what are the life cycle in the report? Creating reports and deploying. That's it. As a developer, your job is done. So DBA will be, capturing all the reports, and those guys have to take care of the management and delivery. So these are the life cycle of the report. So we are in charge of authoring only as a developer. Management and delivery will be handled by DBAs. Delivery also, should I run the report today or should I schedule the report for tomorrow? For example, end user says, I need a report weekly and PDF format. One more end user will say, I need a daily a report in Excel format. So whatever the however the end user needs the delivery, that will be handled by a DBA people, guys. And what are the highlights of reporting services? We have different authoring, wide range of supported data sources. So we have connected to the different Oracle, SQL Server, Teradata. Open report authoring options are available. Flexible report designs are available. So you can have whatever the design you wanted to choose. You can have graphical design, indicators, and however you wanted to have. Management side, you can have parameterized reports, execution properties, report scheduling and history. So sometimes, the customer may ask you, I wanted to have last, 1 year reports. I wanted to have some kind of an history of the reports and all these things. And you can have a role-based security. If you're a manager, you will have more permissions. If you're some browser, you will have less permission. Like that, you can have different permissions, and delivery also can be done with the wide rendering options. Rendering means I need the report in Excel format or in other format, PDF format, flexible and extensible delivery. You can also connect to third-party tools. You should be able to get the reporting services or reports delivered to the end user. So authoring, you have a few things, and management and delivery side also you have much more things that can be configured and that can be customized. Okay, and we have in the runtime. Web means people have to get the reports in HTML. So whenever you go to any website, you are seeing HTML pages only. So web means collection of HTML pages or MHTML pages, nothing but a website. Or I wanted to take a printout of the report. Sometimes you will get the report in PDF format, and that will be printed by a company. They're going to courier. For example, the credit card bills and all. So PDF format, TIFF format. TIFF means JPEG format. It is image format. So comma separated values, Excel and XML. These are the things. Runtime rendering. Rendering means display. Okay, and pull delivery, user pulls the report. For example, I go to the website of the company, I'll be downloading the report. That is a pulling subscription. So pulling means user himself, herself have to go to the web of the company and they have to download. Or pushing means report is automatically distributed to the user, email, file share, or custom. Custom means I wanted to have the report in my, I am running an Android application. I wanted to have the report to be delivered, or iOS application. I wanted a report to be delivered to that Android application so that I can see the report in my mobile phone only. I need not connect to the web. So that is also possible. Push delivery, and these are the different delivering options you can have. Okay, and when you see what are the overview of the reporting services architecture. Okay, so you have report server, and below you have report server catalog, means some report server databases will be there. Now what are the thing? It's going to get the data from different data sources, data retrieval, and it has to give the data to the end user. This is what is rendering option. Rendering means displaying. So then we have security, different role-based security we can apply on this, and delivery also, render or the reports also can be delivered. So these are the four components you need to have: get the data, display the data, or get the data, create a report and deliver the report. Or whenever the end user is using the reports, they should be able to apply some kind of a security. That is also possible. Okay, and you can have get the data from the browser, or the DBA people will manage with the help of these portals only. And custom application also you can develop, and you should be able to call your SSRS reports to this. So browser means by default you will get this option. So the DBA people will manage with the help of another portal called report manager, and this is a custom application people have developed, that using that they should be able to call our reporting. So these are four major components: data retrieval, data rendering, data security, data delivery. These are the core components of the SSRS. Fine, guys. Now, this is what is the SSRS architecture. If you have any questions, you can ask me. So end of the day, this is what we're going to learn.